Kind day to you all, I am Kinsmarck, and this is Let's Play One of Us. I can't claim to know anything about this game, because I actually downloaded it a few weeks ago, I put it in my indie games folder, and then I completely forgot about it. I came across it again today, and as I checked around to see if I could figure out which game it was, I cursed myself for my lack of foresight, because I didn't account for how many games apparently share this same name. I couldn't figure out which one it was, so I'll just have to play it and find out. Apparently it came from Adventure Jam 2017, and I can see something about werewolves in this tome laying across this table here, so start game.
Oaktown used to be a peaceful place. A place where the air smelled of Douglas fir. Neighbors greeted each other in the morning, and children could play freely in the streets. 20 years have passed since the last werewolf appeared. People soon forgot the dangers that lurk in the night. They stopped worrying that one day, the threat might return. Until recently, when the huntsman was killed by a vicious werewolf attack, and only last night, Frau Grossmutter was severely wounded by the wolf. Yes, Oaktown used to be a peaceful place. Now it's a place of danger and death. Will you be able to find the werewolf before more innocents must die? With her husband, the huntsman and sheriff of the town, dead, it is up to Belle to find who was behind these vicious attacks. You have to act fast. The werewolf must be identified before nightfall, when the town will gather and execute the most likely suspect.
Alright then. So this is an investigation game then. Interesting. I can sense that it's a little hastily sketched together, because clearly all of these are hand-drawn assets. This one in particular actually still has the guidelines from her initial sketch. You can actually see the cross T for the face, some of the circles for like the joints and everything. So anyway, let's see here. Flowers. Oh,
Let's
man.
take a look at that.
I hope these animations can move a little faster. Get well, Geppetto? Alright. Hi there. Talk to Frau Grobsmutter. I don't know. I can't actually pronounce that because I am not familiar
Can we
with
talk?
that alphabet.
Certainly. What's on your mind, dear?
I can appreciate the fact that for a small indie game like this, created apparently for an Adventure Jam, that it's actually completely voiced. That's actually pretty cool. So let's see. She's the one that was attacked. What do you remember about the attack?
What can you remember about the attack last night?
Oh dear, it was awful. That creature just burst into my home and attacked me. Thank God my dear Red was there and saved my life. God only knows what would have happened without her.
How did she save you? Yeah, there we go.
How did Red save you?
She used a torch. That creature seems to be terrified of fire. Red chased it away with a torch.
Clever. Why was Red at your house that night?
Why was Red at your house that night?
You see, things haven't been so good with her husband lately. You know how it is, dear. She was asking me for advice.
I see. Alright, I'll cease reading these, because since they're all voiced, I'm just lending this a repetitive quality, so let's see here.
What problems are there with her husband?
You better ask yourself, dear. I'm not sure I can talk about it.
You realize that there's a wolf out there that I need to find.
Yes, dear. I am well aware of the wolf, as you may see. But I really think you should talk to Red directly.
Alright. I can respect that.
Who do you think attacked you?
It could be anyone, really. If I had to decide, maybe one of those drunkards from Tweedledum's bar?
That's too easy. Low-hanging fruit. Alright, I can scroll apparently. Ask about townsfolk. What do you think about Geppetto? Because he's the one that sent the flowers over there.
What do you think about Geppetto?
A nice man. A bit too obsessed with his craft, which is why I broke up with him many years ago.
You two were together?
For a brief time, yes. Many years ago. I often wondered if our love could be rekindled.
Huh. I assume he thinks the same thing. considering the flowers. Alright then.
What can you tell me about your relationship with Geppetto?
There really isn't much to tell. Many years ago, we shared a few nights together, but things ended as fast as they started.
He still seems to think fondly of you.
Well, in that case, the old man really should make his intentions more clear, don't you agree? I haven't spoken with him in months. He did send me flowers here, but did not deliver them himself.
They still have his name on it. Alright. Maybe he's just, a little intimidated about approaching you directly. So, can I ask about anyone else? Apparently Snow White is here? I just live in Disney Town, apparently. Alright then.
What do you think about Snow White?
A pitiful creature. She has to live with a broken heart for so long, she's forgotten what's right and wrong. Now, she'll do anything for her own happiness, even destroy that of others.
Alright, so she turned into a Maleficent sort of character. Alright then, so this has almost a Grimm's fairy tales sort of air about it. I can appreciate that. Anyone else I can ask about? Here we go. What do you think about Tweedledum and Mary? Alright, I hadn't made the connection about so many of these character names also coming from classic Disney films. And even the character I'm controlling, her name is Belle. And then there's Red over there, so, alright. Geppetto is actually the carpenter that made Pinocchio. Alright, so all of these characters, almost, except for her. I can't say I know her from anything. Maybe she's from one of the films I haven't seen. So, alright, that changes the lens I see the rest of this through moving forward. Alright then, let's see.
What do you think about Tweedledum and Mary?
I haven't really spent much time with them, I have to say. But from what I hear, they are a troubled couple.
Is anyone happy around here? Alright, I'll talk to you later then.
I'll talk to you later.
So, anything else to check around here? I think that's pretty much it. So, alright. Red, how are ya?
Red, we need to talk.
Sure, whatever you need, Belle.
What happened last night?
It all happened so quickly, I can barely remember. But I was at my Großmutter's house when the attack happened. That creature, it was so shocking. It jumped at my Großmutter and attacked her. I didn't know what to do, so I grabbed it for the torch, and then it ran away.
Clearly, lines recorded in different sessions, alright? Because those didn't flow together all that well. Let's see.
Do you have an idea who might be the werewolf?
I don't know, maybe that Snow White person? I always thought something was wrong with her. This is all so bad. So bad. How will we get out of this situation? Oh, and your husband? Belle, I'm so sorry. How are you?
I'll be fine. I just need to focus on finding the bastard who killed him. That will make things right.
Alright. Constructive, focus, and coping. I can relate to that.
Tell me about Frau Großmutter.
She's a wonderful person. She took care of me ever since my parents were killed by the last werewolf.
Jeez. How frequently does this happen around here? I mean, I know they said it was a couple of decades ago. I just, like, for how many generations has this cycle of werewolf hunting and killing and then executions of suspects continued? Let's see. Alright, so she's married to Charming then. Is he a prince in this version?
How are things with your husband, Charming?
Oh, we're fine. You know how it is, ups and downs. But we're fine.
That isn't the answer of a person whose relationship is actually fine. I'll let it slide, though, because it ain't exactly my place to pry.
What do you think about Geppetto?
He is the mentor of my husband, Prince Charming.
Oh, he is a
He's
prince.
a good old man. Also, a long time ago, he had an affair with Frau Großmutter.
Uh-huh. So does that make you married into royalty then? Alright.
What do you think about Snow White?
She is the last single woman in town. I think she's up to no good.
Alright. If that's your reason. Okie dokie then.
What do you think about Tweedledum and Mary?
I don't know much about them. They run a bar in town, but they are unpleasant folk. I like to avoid them.
I'm starting to think Red here is a little elitist. Alright.
I'll talk to you later.
Can I, leave this place? Aha, go outside. There we go. Cool sketch art here. I'd like to see this a little more developed. Clearly this was thrown together fairly hastily. I assume for the conditions of the jam it was intended for. I'm just, I'm charmed already. I'd like to see, I didn't even mean to make that pun. I'd like to see this more, I guess, matured in its development, because clearly there's a sense of style at play here, and it's just so sketchy and rough right now that, oh man, I can see the potential. I want to see it get there. Alright, anyway, let's see here. Ah, Geppetto. Alright, he looks a little
Geppetto,
younger than I'd
do you have
imagined.
a moment?
Certainly. What's on your mind, Belle?
I love your facial hair, sir. You can actually rock the handlebar. Not many men can do that. Yeah.
What do you know about the recent attacks?
I know that I'd kill the bastard who did this within a heartbeat.
Alright then.
Attacking my poor innocent Frau in the middle of the night.
And killing my husband.
Right, and killing your husband. If I knew who it was, I'd tell you. Belle, you can believe me.
Come to think of it, sir, you seem a little cut up. Care to explain that? Also, care to explain your cold, dead, missing eyes? I'm sure that's just a shortcoming of the sketch. Because he has the same thing going on.
What do you know about the attacks 20 years ago?
It was horrible. I'm sure you know the werewolf was my father back then.
I do now.
My family never was the same again.
I can imagine. Alright.
How is your woodwork shop going?
Good. Charming is a fine apprentice. And he does make some good progress.
I see.
If only he spent less time fiddling around and more time in the workshop.
What do you mean Charming is fiddling around a lot?
Oh, I really shouldn't tell you this, Belle. He has been sneaking out at night.
He's right over there, you
That's all
know.
I can say. I will take care of the situation.
How will you take care of Charming's behavior?
I will teach him a lesson, of course. I am his mentor, after all.
Is that what the hammer in your hand is for? Alright. Alright, that almost seems accusatory. I'll click it though, because so far the choices haven't seemed final, like they changed things. Because I think the one point at which I'll have a choice to make is at the end of the game actually accusing someone, so...
Geppetto, I know you have the werewolf gene in you.
It's true, Belle. It does run in my family. But I didn't turn in more than 50 years. Why should it happen now? Believe me, Belle. If it were me, I'd tell you. My life is worth much less than those of the innocent victims.
Alright, I can respect that. So interestingly, that clarifies a little about the lore of werewolves in this story, because it changes from so many different tellings and versions and stuff, because in some it's a curse, in another it's a disease. Here it seems like it's genetic. So that's interesting. Let's see here.
You were in a relationship with Frau?
Once upon a time, we did share some wonderful nights, yes.
That you still think about,
And
apparently.
still, I hold her dear in my heart.
Clearly. So that's it then. Alright. I found the pictures of Frau. I did? When did that happen? I mean, I saw that he sent her flowers.
I found the pictures of Frau. You still love her, don't you?
Oh, well, yes, I do. But you see, what we had is over. She would not want an old man like me, so I keep it to myself.
I ain't so sure about that, man. You ain't ever too old to love. So,
What do you think about Tweedledum and Mary?
Those two really should get their act together. Lowlifes as they are, they'll never get out of that hole of theirs.
maybe they're content running a pub. You don't know, man. Ain't your place to judge. Or maybe they're in horrible financial debt, and that's what he's talking about. I don't know. Maybe I don't know enough about this yet.
What do you think about Red and Charming?
Red is such a wonderful person. Charming is very lucky that he has her, and he really should treat her right.
You say that like he doesn't. Is that what his sneaking out is about?
I'll talk to you later.
Charming, I have some questions for you.
Charming, do you have a moment?
For you, always, my dear Belle.
Tone it down a little.
Do you know Geppetto was once together with Frau Großmutter?
Really? I did not. That old playboy. I knew he had it in him. He's never told me about any of his old love stories. Maybe we should pair them off when Frau is feeling better. That should be fun.
Sure. Yeesh, he seems awfully high school, doesn't he?
What do you know about the attacks 20 years ago?
I only heard about them because I was living in another kingdom back then. I know that Geppetto's father was the wolf. He told me that if he were to turn into a werewolf, it would have happened many years ago. I trust him.
So, did he renounce his throne or something? Are we going to address the fact that he's called, in this story, Prince Charming? I mean, come on, man! I feel like they're just glossing over an important aspect of his character here.
Geppetto is carrying the werewolf gene inside him. Do you think he's the wolf?
It would have happened a long time ago. I don't think he's the werewolf.
Alright, fair enough.
What do you think about the other members of Oaktown?
Well, there's my wife Red Riding Hood and Frau Großmutter. They were victims of a werewolf attack last night. Snow White is a wonderful woman. One day she will find a man to fill her heart. Geppetto is my mentor, of course. He taught me everything I know. And then there's Tweedledum and Mary. I don't know much about them. They seem to drink a lot.
They run a pub. Anyway, so... Alright. I'm conflicted in how I feel about Geppetto as a suspect, because he seems too easy. I feel like maybe there's an intentional attraction toward him as a suspect at first. And yet maybe, because I think on a meta level about some of these things, as a storyteller, I'd use that to throw the investigation off. Like, maybe it is just that cut and dry, because there's the genetic propensity for it, and he shows signs of cuts on his shirt that for some reason I can't address, and has that connection and attraction to Frau Großmutter. Is that how they're pronouncing it? Because I'm fairly certain this is like a German sort of setting. Like, so he'd, even on like an animalistic, instinctual level, like a transformation into a werewolf usually entails, have that compulsion to go to her. So there's an awful lot pointing at him. It just almost seems like too much, you know? So anyway, I'll continue on. Just, I'm conflicted about him.
I'll talk to you later.
Anything else around here? Are these the... there are the pictures that I was talking about.
Let's take a look at that.
Let's. So, all right, that's a recent picture and a Polaroid. So, all right, at that, it seems to indicate. Ooh, hey, toss notes. That this is at least early 1900s.
Let's take a look at that.
Oh, geez. All right. Charming needs to get in control of the situation again. More often than not, he is not at the workshop at night. I know what he is doing. I can't actually finish reading that, actually. Hang on. Come on, pick it up again. Thank you. But the rest of town must not find out about it. It will be his end. I cannot lose my apprentice. I'll protect him. Complicit, are you? Interesting. And I can't seem to actually talk to him about it, even though... pardon me. Geppetto already mentioned his late-night outings to me. Man, I do wish I could actually address some of the things that characters mentioned.
Let's take a look at that.
Rags. Shredded up coat. Claw marks. Come on, man. Like, please tell me all of this isn't just a red herring. Because there's so much pointing to him. Or maybe to a certain someone. I don't know. Alright, continuing on. Can I just click and move? I think so. Yeah, here we go. I can at least move along the path. Or just across the grass. Alright. Snow White's house. Ah, there you are. Cool shirt. Creepy
Snow White,
eyes.
do you have a moment?
Yes, Belle. Let's talk.
What do you know about the attacks?
They are scary as hell. That's what I know. And for a single woman like me, without a man at home to protect me, I'm scared.
Oh, geez, she's one of those. Alright. Let's see.
How are you holding up?
This is all so shocking. One moment you think that life is good, the next you are scared to be eaten by a wolf.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen anything suspicious?
No. Ever since the first attack, when your husband died, I locked myself in the home at night, hiding.
Smart choice. Are you the werewolf? Just asking directly. Never mind that you've implied an awful lot of fear about getting eaten. Are you scared you might eat yourself?
Are you the werewolf, Snow?
What a question.
Yeah.
No, I'm not, obviously.
I mean-
Besides, I could not be. You cannot turn into a werewolf until, your flower has been taken.
Is
So
that a thing?
wait, you're still a virgin?
I'd appreciate it if it stayed between us. But yes, I am. So even if I had the werewolf gene, I could not turn. For now.
I'm curious, is that an actual aspect of the quality of werewolfdom, of lycanthropy, in this setting, or is that just a folktale that's common to the people who live in this region of the story? I don't know. Alright, let's see here.
Do you know what's going on between Charming and Red? They seem to be having some issues.
I do not. But if you know anything, please tell me.
Yeah,
I like a good gossip.
because of course you do. Okay.
I'll talk to you later.
Can I invade your home? I swear I have a search warrant.
I can't do that.
Alright, fine. Can I check on this fire? Apparently not. I can't seem to move past this lower edge of the screen, so I'll just continue on this way and see who else I can talk to. I assume I'll meet Mary and Tweedledum. Aha! Here they are. Here's their place, I guess. I mean, it looks like a fine establishment. I could stand corrected, though, because the interior is a lot less charming. Alright. Ooh, jeez. Oh, that face. All the eyeless characters. Like, you had the time to sketch in the little wrinkles of the pants and to give him a little junk and everything, and you couldn't, just draw a couple circles? Okay. Alright. Hey, how's it going, you angry-looking sot?
Tweedledum, I need to ask you some questions.
If you have to, pretty.
Oh, Jesus. Hey, how's it going?
How are things, Tweedle?
Just the usual. Spending my days enjoying life as another member of the Oaktown High Society.
I'm sure you like to think so.
What do you know about the attacks?
Not much, really. Anybody can be the wolf. But of course, you come here first,
No, I
snooping
didn't.
around wherever the scum lives.
I'm
were
just
last on
getting
my list.
Everybody in town the same way.
I am sure of that, pretty.
Can I accuse him just so that we kill him? I mean, I don't think anyone might have... Maybe I shouldn't finish that sentence. Y'all know what I was going to say, though.
Have you seen anything suspicious?
No, of course not, pretty.
No!
If I had, I'd report it to our new sheriff right away. You can be sure of that. Just
No,
because we aren't
ma'am,
as
we're
pretty as the
not.
folks uptown, we don't turn into werewolves at night,
Uptown is like 30 feet away, my man. Yeah. Alright, I can't stand half the city. City. Just the population of this town. I ain't sure I could live here.
What do you think about Red and Charming?
They are a pretty couple, aren't they?
Stop saying that.
Prince with his looks, thinking he can just charm all the women in town, but he'll get what's coming to him. I'm telling you.
Care to elaborate on that? Alright. You sound awful jealous about his looks and getting all the women in town. Never mind the fact that I think you're married? So...
What do you think about Snow White?
She's a pretty girl.
Stop saying
Hottie,
that.
If you're asking me. I don't know
I know,
why she
that's-
seems to be having a hard time finding a husband.
Because, I mean, look at her options, man. Seems like the dating pool's a little lacking in this area. I think maybe she should move. Okay.
What do you think about Geppetto?
He is a bad person.
Is
He
that
a
right?
wolf, you know. I'm telling you.
And you're just an authority on these sorts of things, are you? Right. Chat at you later, my man.
I'll talk to you later.
Whew. I actually don't think he's the werewolf. I think he's just an asshole. Alright, continuing
Let's
on.
take a look at that.
Notes. Ah, geez, this harsh font again. He did it again, snuck out at night to meet with her. That beast! When will he finally realize that he belongs to me? Life isn't fair. As if I didn't have enough problems. You know, I'd like to
Let's
finish
take a look
reading the
at that.
notes that I pick up. So, and now, this wolf thing. I need to be careful. No one can learn my secret. So, that was her note then. That she just left out in the open where he and anyone else could find it and confront her about it. Alright, documents. Alright. I'll meet with you in a moment. Mary off screen. Oh, that Mary. Alright, are you sure she's the sort you want to cheat on, my man? Because she seems like she might slit your throat in your sleep.
Let's
Alright,
take a look at that.
anyway, check out these documents. Alright, that isn't a document. I mean, it's documentative proof of a Polaroid of Prince Charming. Alright. Are you into him, then?
Mary,
The hell?
can we speak?
Of course, Belle. I hope I can help you catch that monster.
I hope so, too. I hope you're a lot more cooperative and charming than your friend over here.
What do you know about the attacks?
They seem to target random people. We are all in danger. We need to stop this before the wrong people have to die.
Uh-huh. Alright. So far, she and I are on the same page.
Have you seen anything suspicious?
Nothing, to be honest. I haven't seen or heard anything.
I mean, you stay shut up in your pub all day, so, I mean, small wonder.
Do you know anything about the problems in Charming and Red's relationship?
I think he doesn't really love her. Maybe he hasn't realized that yet, but they don't belong together.
Why would you say that?
It's just a feeling I have. He's too good for her.
Because you're into him. That's why you have a picture of him. Alright, so you're attempting to poison their relationship through me. Charming.
What do you know about the attacks 20 years ago?
I was still a little girl. I remember hiding in my home with my mother, but that's about it.
Did you know that Charming was not at home during the attacks? Any idea where he went?
What? Why would I know? I don't know anything.
Don't you? Uh-huh.
I found pictures of Charming in your personal belongings, Mary. Tell the truth. Do you have feelings for him?
All right. Yes, it's true. I like him. But who could blame me? Have you seen the guy? Have you seen Tweedle?
I have at that! And, if nothing else, I can see why he ain't satisfying you. Cheating, still, not cool, though. Just leave. Alright, anyway,
What do you think about your husband, Tweedledum?
I'm sure it's glowing.
Well, I used to dream that I would meet a prince. But God almighty, have you seen what's happened since?
You kinda did this for yourself, lady. Sorry.
What do you think about Geppetto?
He's a noble man. Good thing he's teaching Charming all these wonderful techniques.
All those finger warm-ups and strong hands and... Anyway... Huh. Can't ask about anything else, can I? I cannot. Alright. So...
I'll talk to you later.
Are there any other places I could visit to gather evidence? Because so far, I just have an awful lot of circumstantial suspicion. Actually, can I go left here? I can't. Alright. Can something change out here since I came inside? Alright, I can't go this way. Can I go into the forest? Alone and unarmed? Because that's always a wise decision, as werewolves are about. I can't. Alright, then,
Snow White, do you have a moment?
Yes, Belle. Let's talk.
Can I talk to them again? I can't change the subject. I can't tell if there's anything new.
I'll talk to you later.
So, Alright, can I save? I can. Okay, cool. Alright. Save game? New save. Yeah, there we go. Cool. So, I think I might save as I come up to the ending of the game. And I think I'll also contain this to a single episode, because I feel like this sort of deserves that sort of momentum. I just can't tell how to carry it forward from here, though. That's the thing. Can I move on over this way? I can't. Alright. So, how do I progress from here? Is there anything in here? No, these are all just sound and language options. Okay, then. Can I progress to nighttime, then, and make the accusation? Or how does this continue from here? Oh, there are new options! Ah, alright, I can ask Red about Geppetto carrying the wolf gene. Okay, so maybe I do actually have to compare notes across multiple townspeople. Interesting. Can I tell Frau that Geppetto is actually into her? Can I play matchmaker? Oh, I hope I can.
Did you know that Geppetto's carrying the wolf gene?
I was shocked to hear it. Do you think that being a werewolf runs in the family?
I mean,
It
it
appears
might.
so, yes.
But that means, that Geppetto must be a werewolf, right?
Maybe. I mean, that isn't certain yet. Huh.
Where was Charming last night?
I don't know. He didn't come home, so I went to my Großmutter for advice.
Does this happen often?
From time to time. I'm sure it's nothing serious.
Cheating's poison for a relationship, Red. You need to learn that early, otherwise it's only gonna hurt worse in the end. Aha! Aha!
I found ripped clothes at Geppetto's woodshop. They look unnatural.
Oh, really? Do you think Geppetto could have something to do with the werewolf?
I think
He
his
does carry the
assistant
gene,
might.
after all.
Can I actually affect outcomes if I start spreading town gossip like this? Maybe it's a good thing that I just saved a few minutes ago. Let's do it.
I don't know if I should tell you this, but Mary's in love with your husband.
What? How do you know this? Did anything happen between them?
No. But she has been following him.
Is that all she was doing? Are you sure about that? Alright, I think that's all I can ask about for now. Interesting. Alright then.
I'll talk to you later.
So how about you? Can I ask about some of these new
Frau
revelations?
Großmutter, can we talk?
Certainly. What's on your mind, dear?
Let's see. I think I've already asked about these. Already asked about that. I can't actually tell her about Geppetto. Aw, man. Can I ask about anything new here? Ah, come on. I wanted to tell her that Geppetto has actually confessed to me that he is into her. Ah, man. I want to make an old lady happy. Fine.
I'll talk to you later.
As the night draws closer, the townfolk gather around the fire. A decision must be made. Who is the werewolf? Who needs to die before he can take more innocent lives?
Can I just have an extension of another couple of hours? Because I had
It
some
is on you
extra
to decide.
questions.
Let the accused present their case.
You dragged us here to point fingers at each other, but isn't it obvious who is behind all this?
Who are you talking about, Tweedle?
Geppetto, of course! His father was a wolf and killed my dear brother.
Is this true, Geppetto? Your father killed my parents?
It's true, dear. All these years I never told you because I knew you couldn't look at Geppetto the same. He's not the one to blame.
I assure you, Tweedledum, if I was the wolf, I would tell you. My life will be over soon, and I would not want to endanger others like that.
Awful lot of dirt coming to the
denying it,
surface here.
Geppetto. It's in your genes.
Even if you wanted to, you can't fight your heritage. If it's in your genes, Geppetto, there's nothing you can do. It's not your fault.
I could tell you, so you could end the killing spree. But it's not me. Killing me would change nothing.
I am sorry, Geppetto, but he does make a good point.
Everyone, please. Let's take this more slowly. We must be sure before we make a decision.
Indeed, let's. Let's talk about Prince Charming and Red Riding Hood, because that's the thing I still wanted to address. I regret that I have to do this in front of all of you.
Let's talk about Prince Charming and Red Riding Hood. They're having problems in their marriage.
I have to address
I
it.
don't think that topic belongs here. It's a private
I
matter.
think it does.
That wannabe playboy sneaking out at night, huh, Red? Where does he go when no one's looking?
Indeed,
Please,
where?
darling. I'm sure there's nothing wrong with Charming.
Don't be fooled by his looks. He can be the werewolf just like any one of us.
Indeed, he can.
But I'm not.
I'm so sorry about this. I should not
Stammering
have
for
told
answers,
anyone.
are you?
No, you shouldn't have, Red.
So I'm still not getting an answer about what the hell he does at night. Because if it ain't her, then what is it?
I found ripped clothes at Geppetto's workshop.
Whose
All
are
the more
they?
proof that he is a werewolf.
Geppetto, if this is true, I can't believe it.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but that does sound suspicious.
You're getting ahead of
What do you
yourselves.
have to say about this?
I ripped them while I was working the wood saw. Now I use them as rags. There is no hidden meaning behind them.
Blah, blah. That's just excuses. You are the wolf. Admit it.
Tweedledum, you are awfully fast at pointing your finger at others today. Maybe it is you who has something to hide.
Pa, you wish. But now that I think of it, maybe those are your clothes, Charming? You do spend a lot of time in the workshop as well.
Don't be ridiculous, Tweedle. Why would Charming be the wolf?
He can't be.
Geppetto did say I must protect my apprentice. I think he just concocted that story, cutting him up while I was working, to try and cover for Charming. Because him, I'm pretty much certain at this point, he's just an asshole. I'd like to kill him. I don't think this is the time or place, because I'm not convinced at all that he has anything to do with this werewolf issue. These two, however, it's one of them. I'm starting to lean toward this guy. So, because I mean, again, Geppetto's just too easy. So much points to him, and yet he shares a workspace with one other person. And again, I can't stress enough how suspect it is that he had, amongst his notes, an assertion that he had to protect Charming because of something that he's doing that he can't tell anyone else about. So, he knows something.
We should ask the one survivor and her savior what they have to say about the wolf.
It all happened very fast. The creature just burst through the door and jumped me.
Did you notice anything about the creature that might give us a hint?
Nothing in particular. It did hit its leg when it stormed out. Thank God Red was there to save me.
Yes, but how exactly did a little girl like Red save you from the beast?
I just grabbed the torch in front of me and hit it. It seemed to be afraid of fire and ran away.
A beast like that afraid of a small torch? I find that hard to believe.
Right. I think Red Riding Hood is hiding something.
Maybe Red attacked her own Großmutter?
That's ridiculous. Why would she do that? And if Red didn't save Frau from the attack, then who did? They're both still standing here.
That doesn't make any sense.
You're right, it doesn't. It hit its leg on the way out. And one person here has a cut on his leg. Accusing her hadn't really occurred to me. Because why would she implicate her? That doesn't make sense. Can I save on this menu? I can. I can't! Oh crap, I'm so happy I did it earlier then, because that doesn't leave that much
Decide
time.
now. Who is the werewolf? Who has to die?
I'm convinced it's one of these two. And as much as part of me suspects that it's Charming, there's just more evidence pointing at Geppetto. Emotionally, I don't think it's him. Circumstantially, though, there's so much material evidence, or at least the story lines up too cleanly to implicate him. I have to look at it logically, though, and he's where the evidence points. So, kill Geppetto.
Geppetto's connection to the attacks was too obvious to ignore. He had to die. The decision has been made. If you chose correctly, the werewolf will reveal himself shortly before his death. Geppetto has dedicated his life to his craft. Once upon a time, he had found himself in the arms of Frau, a love he has never been able to fully let go. Years passed, but he quietly hoped their love would someday be rekindled. That someday he would find the courage to make things right. But now, that hope is gone. Was he the werewolf, as he was suspected to be?
He wasn't, was he?
No, he was not. The following morning, the town awoke to a grueling sight. Once again, one of their own had been viciously murdered by the werewolf. Frau Großmutter had been the wolf's target once again.
It finished the job this time, didn't
Will you be able to prevent the
it?
death of more innocent people? It is on you to decide who will be the next person to die.
Wait. The story continues? Oh, hell, I thought I'd just have a game over. Oh, man. Oh, no. Oh, no, she's not there. Oh, it killed her. I should have killed Charming. I should have killed Charming. Oh, I should have gone with my instinct. Because everything in me was screaming that it was him, and that Geppetto was too easy. He was too convenient a target. Because this is the thing, right? The story forces this timeline upon me, saying, choose now. I couldn't have, in any amount of faith, said that I had enough evidence to concretely point the finger at anyone yet. I just had emotional suspicions and circumstances and circumstantial evidence just came out in a strange new way. Anyway, that were vague at most. So, I'll continue on from here. And then, at the end, I'll load that save I made and see the happy ending accusing Charming first. Because at this point, I am certain he is the werewolf. I'm so sorry, Red.
Red, we need to talk.
I screwed up.
Sure, whatever you need, Belle.
Awfully charming of you.
So many of us have died already.
Indeed. I am so sorry you lost your husband. I truly am. And my dear Frau Großmutter. Why, oh why did she have to be taken?
Because I screwed up!
He will be remembered. I am so sorry.
I screwed up so awfully. Okay. Can I jump straight to the accusation? God, I cannot speak. I'm so shaken up. I can't even form words.
I'll talk to you later.
Alright. Oh wait, there was a note there. Was that always there? Hang on, I'll check that. Is that something?
Let's take a look at that.
Uh-huh. I know my time has come, but that is all right. I have lived a long and happy life. I love you more than anything, Red Riding Hood. Please share my belongings equally with Geppetto. He will understand. Will he... Wait. Is that... I think there are more familial connections around here than first let on. Alright. Charming. I have an awful lot of questions for you. You wipe that smirk off of your face. Pretty boy.
Charming, do you have a moment?
For you, always, my dear Belle.
Don't. Mm-hmm.
I now know for sure that Bloody Mary's in love with you, Charming.
Oh, is that true? Well, I suspected as much, to be honest. That poor soul. But she knows nothing can ever happen. Thank you for telling me this. At least now, I have certainty.
And you know what your options are.
Yeah. Alright. I ain't sure what to make of that answer.
So many of us have died already.
Yes, I'm so sorry, Belle. I can't imagine how you must feel after losing the huntsman. Frau's death was a shock, for me and for Red. Now that Geppetto is dead, I'll do my best to follow his footsteps.
Is that right?
I'll talk to you later.
Any additional developments around here? Are these the same notes?
Let's take a look at that.
I assume they likely are. Yeah, okay. See, that last line. That's the one. Oh. I knew it. Geppetto's notebook. Was that always selectable?
Let's take a look at that.
The wolf has returned, my father's legacy. But can it be? What I felt for years now turns into certainty. Can I really be her grandfather? I called it! It doesn't matter. Wait. If he is Red's grandfather, she carries the werewolf gene. Holy shit, maybe the accusation about her is actually substantial. That changes everything. That hadn't clicked for me until now. Alright. I have
Let's take a look at that.
continue reading that because it cut off. I must protect her no matter what. I cannot tell anyone that she lied about the attack. A wolf like that scared of a torch. Nonsense. So wait. She lied about the attack. Was Frau already unconscious? Because I thought she saw with her own eyes Red drive the werewolf off with the torch. If she was already unconscious and we're all just taking Red at her word, she's suddenly a suspect. Because I thought her story was corroborated with Frau. Charming, you're still on the hook. You're just hanging a little more loosely, my friend. Interest. Whoa. Hold up. Tracks. Heading straight to the shop instead of away from it? The hell is that about? I am so invested in this now. Oh. Alright. That's horrific. Aye.
Snow White, do you have a moment?
Yes, Belle. Let's talk.
Red is the one who saved Frau, you know. She used a torch to scare the beast away.
I didn't know wolves were scared of fire. Who would have known? I'll surround my house with torches tonight. Hope that keeps it away.
Wolves are scared of fire. I ain't so certain that werewolves are. Have she changed her answer at this
Who
point?
do you think is the werewolf?
I'm sorry to say it, but I think it's Red Riding Hood. I don't know why, just a feeling I have. She's too innocent.
Interesting. Any new answers here?
What do you think about Tweedledum and Mary?
Oh, they are just nasty people. I don't want to have anything to do with them.
Alright.
So many of us have died already.
I know, it's so tragic. You poor girl. Losing the love of your life like that.
Yeah, thanks for talking about that.
I thought the old woman would outlive us all. Geppetto was such a good master for charming. Such a good man.
I'll talk to you later.
So let's see if I can construct the scene. Wait. Wait. Are there multiple sets of tracks? Maybe it's just a perspective thing. This set looks smaller than this set. And they go in different directions. Also, the hell is up with your house? Why is your house all clawed up? Did the attack happen out here? Alright, so that track leads off into the woods. Snowy, honey, care to explain the claw marks all over your house?
I found scratch marks and fur at Snow White's house.
Uh-huh.
Snow White, do you have a moment?
Yes, Belle. Let's talk.
Comment upon this, please.
Snow, I found fur and scratch marks at your house. Can you explain that?
What? But that must mean that the creature was at my house. Oh God, I am so scared.
So you're saying you did not cause these things yourself? Because you are the wolf?
Of course I am not. Why would I want to turn into a werewolf?
I don't think that the person has any choice in this, sadly.
'Cause she just what? Slept through claws like that? Just carving valleys out of the wood of her door? Alright. Additional suspects. Although they are all on the outside. I can't get into her house. That's the thing, so...
I'll talk to you later.
Confusion is setting in. Can I actually get in?
I
Can
found
I?
scratch marks
I
and fur
can't.
at Snow White's house.
Oh, man. That's like the one structure in town I can't enter. Can I follow the tracks? I mean, as wise as that is. I can't. Jeez. Oh. I'm also just like, I'm second guessing myself again now, because I'm like, if I had killed Charming and it wasn't him, I still think it is. Mostly. If it isn't him, though, who the hell else? I'm actually starting to think there's credence to accusing Red. Alright, anything new from you? Not that I care to talk to you.
I need to ask you some questions.
If you have to, pretty.
Just stop.
I found these photos of Prince Charming and Mary's personal belongings.
You just had to snoop around in our personal stuff, right? Coming in here and acting like you own the place? This is our home, pretty. And you better take your nose out of our affairs.
Or else what, tough guy?
So many of us have died already.
Yes. Starting with your husband.
Yeah, thanks.
No offense, but that guy was trouble. And who could have known Geppetto was not the wolf? Frau was an old woman.
Yeah, who
She didn't
indeed?
have many days left anyways.
Can I just stab this man? Mary, could you please live up to your name for just a second and just slit his throat all over this? I wouldn't tell a soul. I'd say he tripped and fell on his own shears. Multiple times. Because he's just that clumsy. Have you looked at this man? Oh, I'll talk to you later.
I'll talk to you later.
Okay. Mary, I'll just assume you have the patience of a saint.
Mary, can we speak?
Of course, Belle. I hope I can help you catch that monster.
I hope so too.
Did you know that Charming was not at home during the attacks? Any idea where he went?
What? Why would I know? I don't know anything.
So she still denies it. Interesting. How about this?
I found scratch marks and fur at Snow White's house. What do you think about that?
That's because that bitch is a werewolf. I knew it.
All right. I ain't convinced of that though, because all the marks are on the outside. So
many of us have died already.
Yes. Oh, Belle, you lost your husband.
yeah, thanks for talking about it again.
Now she's dead. I hope Geppetto will rest in peace.
I ain't so sure he will. All right.
I'll talk to you later.
Because, man, what if all Charming is into is, like, smuggling or cheating on his wife or whatever? Like, maybe it's completely, I hesitate to say innocent. Maybe it just has nothing to do with the werewolf thing, though. Is there anything new around here? Are these new? Oh, full trash can. The hell?
Let's take a
Was
look
that
at that.
always there? I'd have an awful lot more to go on if that were colorized. Because this sepia tone means I don't know if
Let's take a look
that's
at
dirt or ink or blood. Because, I mean, who knows? Maybe somebody stepped on the friggin' shattered glass all over the floor around here. Can I ask you just one more
Tweedledum,
thing?
I need to
Call
ask
me
you some
pretty again,
questions.
and I will gouge out your non-existent eyes! Anyway. Yeah, I forgot to ask him about this.
I found scratch marks and fur at Snow White's house. What do you think about that?
Coincidental. A girl as pretty as that can't have anything to do with the attacks. If you're asking me. After all, nobody is suspecting you as well, pretty. Maybe you had enough of that huntsman at home and went haywire?
Shut up, Tweedle.
Gag me with a knife. Or him. Preferably him. Oh, wait. I can actually confront him about that, so that is actually...
I found this bloody tissue in your bar. What do you have to say about that?
Mary cut herself recently. In the kitchen.
I mean...
It was a big mess. You wouldn't believe it.
Hence
Blood
the name.
everywhere. And who had to mop it up? Of course, me. Just threw those nasty rags in the corner. That's what I did.
Because that's sanitary. Alright, I don't care who he thinks is responsible here. So, can I ask you about anything else? I cannot. Alright, I'll talk to you later.
I'll talk to you later.
As the night draws closer, the townfolk gather around the fire. A decision must be made. Who is the werewolf?
Oh,
Who needs to die before he can take more innocent lives?
I should have saved. Because I can't save on the accusation menu.
It is on you to decide. Let the accused present their case.
Once again, we are gathered here to make a decision.
I can't believe Frau Großmutter is gone.
Let's just get this all over with. Accuse me all you want. I am innocent.
Please, let's try to stay civil this time.
Indeed, let's.
I already made my decision.
So I'll mention this. I honestly don't think it really factors in all that much, though.
I found fur and scratch marks at Snow White's house. What do you have to say about this, Snow?
Clearly, the creature wanted to get me, but I was hiding.
Nonsense! You turned in the wolf yourself and left those signs there.
I can't believe it. Snow is the werewolf. You killed my Großmutter.
And she lied to me
calm
about
it
being a
down.
virgin. Virgins can't turn into werewolves. Yet.
There you have it. It's her, that bitch.
Let's try to stay civil here, okay?
Wait, what?
Snow is just a woman like any other, and that beast clearly was after her and left those marks. Belle, you did find these clues outside of Snow's house, right? The wolf surely left signs around other houses as well.
Thank you, Charming.
Of course you're on her side.
This is wonderful.
Just like watching TV.
Please, let's focus.
What era is this? I am starting to think there's credence to accusing Red Riding Hood. I am also compelled to stick to my instinctual accusation and call it charming. So that's what I'm going with here. I should have saved, though. Ugh.
All right. We need to make a decision. Everybody, please state your case.
I think it's Snow White.
It's Snow White. I'm sure of it.
Wait a minute. Didn't Frau Großmutter say last night that the wolf hit its leg when it escaped?
Indeed she did.
Yes, she did. Why?
Because I noticed that Mary is walking with a limp.
What?
Her leg is wounded. That proves it. She is the werewolf.
Oh, shut up. It's not her, I'm telling you.
Decide now. Who is the werewolf? Who has to die?
I am curious about what she's getting up to at night as well. Because he hasn't addressed her and acts like she isn't even... Like, she didn't even have a chance with him. He's very dismissive about her attraction to him. So, Clearly he isn't cheating with her, or at least he's really good at acting as far as covering it up, so... Ugh, there's actually compelling arguments to make about almost everyone. I'm sticking with it.
Prince Charming could not sweet-talk his way out of this one. His indiscretions had to stop. The decision has been made. If you chose correctly, the werewolf will reveal himself shortly before his death.
Are you using his in that sentence just to throw me off?
Prince Charming knew that he had it all. The women were chasing him, and he was a talented craftsman. He lived his life without a care in the world, but life finally caught up to him when he betrayed his loving wife.
How?
A betrayal for which now he had to pay the ultimate price. Was he the werewolf as he was suspected to be? No. The second trial had not revealed the werewolf, and despite all their efforts, the next morning revealed another dead body.
Oh.
The werewolf had struck again.
Alright, who died?
His bloody corpse was spread throughout his bar.
At least I have that solace in all this.
This incident had already claimed many lives. Will you be able to prevent the next vicious werewolf attack?
Oh, it's Red Riding Hood. Oh, it's Red Riding Hood. It's Red Riding Hood because of the irony. It's you! It's you! I knew it was too easy. Oh, God. A part of me, instinctually, I know this sounds like revisionist thinking. It isn't. I just hadn't said it. A part of me knew Geppetto was too easy. I knew that. I accused him anyway. That same part of me also knew Charming, because of the close association with Geppetto. Also, too easy. So it had to, someone else had to have done it. I wasn't sure, the cynic in me, how nuanced, how well written this story was. I didn't know if it would go for the low-hanging easy fruit, or if it would actually communicate a compelling investigation that isn't clear-cut, because that's how life actually is. Things are so gray and uncertain that you really have to dig. So, crudely drawn though this is, the story is fantastically well written. Because it just makes me keep guessing. It keeps compromising all of my certainties at every turn. Every time I think I have it figured out, it's just like, hey, this is also there too. Consider that. Oh, and this episode is getting long, so settle in, because another round is coming up. Oh, man. Also, comments sound off. How do you guys feel about these long episodes like I've done for the last few weeks? I actually enjoy them. I'd like to hear from you guys, though.
Red,
anyway.
We need to talk.
Sure, whatever you need, Belle.
You still sound so just chipper and charming and happy, don't you? Alright. What do you know about werewolves?
What do you know about werewolves?
Not much, I'm afraid. Gruesome creatures that kill at night. The person turning into it has no choice in the matter. Such a horrible concept.
Alright, so that answers that. Because that was something that a few people have implied, that people might want to have the Curse of the Werewolf, that they're conscious about it, choosing their targets because of their mortal interests and that sort of things. So the fact that they don't have a choice, again, I'm taking her word for this, though, complicates things. Alright.
Have you seen anything suspicious?
Well, 2 of us died last night, but now that you're asking, I did see Tweedledum sneaking around outside.
And
I
then he
wonder what
died.
he's been up to. I've never seen him in this area of town before.
I suspect he was likely looking for evidence, and then caught outside, he died.
Tell me, why are you innocent? Are you the werewolf?
I lost so many loved ones to this creature. Many years ago, my parents, and now my dear Großmutter. Why would I do that to myself, Belle? Plus, I was the one who saved Frau Großmutter during the first attack. How would that work if I were the werewolf myself? It wouldn't make any sense. If I were the wolf, I wouldn't want to have all this blood on my hands. I'd tell you.
You just said they don't have a choice. And Geppetto said, because he's so close to this matter, that scaring off a werewolf with a torch is nonsense.
I found Frau's testament. It names you and Geppetto as shared inheritors. With Geppetto dead, that means you get everything. What do you make of this?
Großmutter didn't have many people around her lately, so I guess that makes sense. But Geppetto in there? That's a bit odd.
Is it?
I found scratch marks and fur at Snow White's house. What do you think about that?
I wonder how they got there. Maybe she is the wolf.
I can actually address this.
I found out that werewolves aren't afraid of fire.
But this one is. I saw it with my own eyes when I scared it away with a torch.
Repetition of a story. An indication of deceit. Alright. I feel like I've settled into certainty so many times now that I shouldn't again. I am fairly confident that she is it. Because again, narrative irony. And now she's starting to shoot all sorts of holes in her own arguments.
So many of us have died already.
Indeed. I am so sorry you lost your husband.
Stop talking about him!
Why, oh why did she have to be taken? My husband, Prince Charming, is dead. Despite his indiscretions, I will always love him. Geppetto, he will be remembered. I am so sorry. That Tweedledum was a weird man, but I'm sorry he had to go.
I can't say I am. I ain't about to miss him.
I'll talk to you later.
Comments! Tell me, who do you think it is? I know this is a little late in asking. Comment now and say so if you actually are commenting as I say this. Who do you think it actually is at this juncture? Oh. The shop is so empty. I mean, I don't know what I expected to find here. Because as far as I know, no one has come in. I can't click on anything else in here, so... Alright. And what the hell is up with those tracks? Wait. The tracks lead to the rear of the infirmary, where Red lives. Strange, though, that they don't come from it. That is odd. Although, maybe she was in the woods at the time? I don't know how much weight to lend to these, again, clearly hastily drawn, sketched tracks. I think I should likely stick to more narrative aspects than visual aspects of evidence here. Alright.
Snow White, do you have a moment?
Yes, Belle. Let's talk.
Red is the one who saved Frau, you know. She used a torch to scare the beast
I've already
away.
heard
I
this,
didn't
haven't
know wolves were scared of fire.
Yeah.
Who would have known?
Okay, I've heard this.
I'll surround my house with torches tonight. Hope that keeps it away.
So... I don't actually think any of this is new.
I'll talk to you later.
Because I'm running out of options. And people to talk about with them. Well, Mary, the pub's all yours. I hope you can make a more successful venture of the place. I have every faith in you.
Mary, can we speak?
Of course, Belle. I hope I can help you catch that monster.
She just sounds so shattered inside, doesn't she?
I found this bloody tissue in your house, Mary. Whose blood is it?
It's mine. I hurt myself in the kitchen.
Alright, so that was a straight admission. I mean, again, the name, so... I know she already accuses Snow White straight away. We've already talked about that.
So many of us have died already.
Yes. Oh, Belle, you lost your
Oh man, everyone is just so apt to talk about him.
Geppetto will rest in peace. I'm surprisingly okay with my husband. Charming. Oh, charming. Why did he have to go? Nothing ever goes right for me.
Mary, you and I are at least on the same page there. I can commiserate with you all about that. So...
I'll talk to you later.
That's all there is. I think. Because it doesn't seem like there's anything new. Alright. Can I get to the accusation screen here? Alright. I had thought it might automatically do that. Can I cue that somehow? Because I sort of wish there were a key I could just press to start that sequence. I'll save in another slot, just in case. Man, I wish I had for that follow-up accusation session after the first. Man. Curious that I can't actually tell where Tweedledum was attacked. Because I don't see any additional signs. Huh. That's a little strange. Alright, well, can I ask Red anything else? I feel like I've already asked her everything I could. Also, where is my house? Anyway. Maybe I just live here too.
We need to talk.
Sure, whatever you need, Belle.
I don't know. I don't actually see anything new here. Can I ask anything about these? Does she have another answer for this now that stuff has happened?
What do you think about Snow White?
She is the last single woman in town.
Alright, so this is the same
I think
answer
she's
as
up to
earlier.
No good.
As the night draws closer, the townfolk gather around the fire. A decision must be made. Who is the werewolf? Who needs to die before he can take more innocent lives? It is on you to decide. Let the accused present their case.
Half the town is dead already. Tonight will be the night we will make a decision.
Belle, we both lost our husbands to this beast. We need to stop it.
Belle's and my husband's will be mourned most.
This beast scares me to my bones. Let's take care of this.
Let's settle this once and for all.
I think I might have called it earlier. That the narrator uses the male pronoun he and him in reference to the werewolf as a subtle means of throwing assumptions off.
Red, you were there during the first attack. You were able to scare the beast with a torch.
That's
Or
correct.
were you?
It ran away when it saw the fire.
It's very convenient that nobody ever questioned if Red might be the wolf.
But why would Frau
I mean,
Grossmutter lie?
They actually
about
did a
this?
couple nights ago, though.
She told us that Red protected her.
Maybe to protect Red from the execution? She loved her more than anything.
This is outrageous.
That
I
is
would
possible.
never harm my dear Grossmutter. Or anyone. How can you even think I am capable of this?
Because you
There's a
said
code
yourself it isn't a
saying
choice!
Somebody here is capable of it.
Additionally, I found proof that werewolves are not scared of fire. It's in Geppetto's books.
Mary, does she have wounds similar to the... Because I can't see them. One character actually had visible wounds, and he's dead, and isn't the werewolf. So I'm just taking someone else at their word that she actually has wounds similar to those that the wolf apparently has.
Mary, you have wounds similar to those the wolf has, according to Frau Grossmutter.
I told you, I got them because I fell off a tree. Can we please not talk about
When did you tell me
There were
this?
bloody rags at your house.
Snow White, I found fur and scratch marks at your place. And you lied to me about being a virgin.
I
what?
think it's her.
Look, Anyone could have scratch marks outside his house. That creature is roaming the streets at night.
Wait.
That bitch! My life is in shambles because of her.
I could have sworn I hadn't seen any evidence of her actually having lied. Did I just miss something? Is she who Charming was cheating with? Because I know they keep saying about his indiscretions. I could have sworn, though, that I had just seen vague things about him doing things away from other people at night. I can't actually remember. Maybe I just missed it. I just checked out and it didn't click and process for me that it was her he was screwing around with. I'll just assume that's what they're referring to, though, about the whole her non-virginity thing. Alright, I mean, she lied. I mean, people lie about that sort of thing all the time. Clearly, she's one of the goody-goody, I have to look cutesy and innocent sorts, so, I mean, that's... Then again, she did use it as a means of justifying her argument that she isn't their werewolf, and the marks are on her house. I just... Confusion is setting in again at the least opportune moment!
There's nothing more to say. Everybody please state your case. We have to make a decision.
It's obviously Snow White.
Snow, you took Charming from me. I think you're the wolf.
Mary, there's no doubt about it.
Thank you. I will now make my decision.
Decide now. Who is the werewolf? Who has to die?
I have come to a conclusion. I'll stick with my instincts. And I have to accuse Red.
Red Riding Hood, as innocent as she may seem, was chosen to die. Her life would now come to an end. The decision has been made. If you chose correctly, the werewolf will reveal himself shortly before his death.
Still using him, even though it's women left.
Red Riding Hood had dedicated her life to helping others. After the last wolf had killed both her parents, Frau Grossmutter took care of the orphan girl, a favor Red gladly returned when age caught up with Frau. She found the love of her life in Prince Charming, and they got married in a heartbeat. Even though she knew of his recent indiscretions, she always chose to be a loyal and loving wife. Was she the werewolf, as she was suspected to be? Yes, she was.
All right.
She had not chosen to be the werewolf. It just happened to her. A cruel fate she could not bear on her own. So when the sickness took control of her, she turned to Frau Grossmutter for help, as she always had. Together they decided to keep it a secret. If the town knew, they would surely execute the wolf. A cruel decision that ultimately sealed the fate of many innocents. Scared to take responsibility for the killings, the wolf had stayed silent and allowed many innocents to die. Now, her plight has ended.
So she knew. And they agreed to the investigation, knowing that someone would die for it. Oh, man. There aren't any innocents here. They're all just different flavors of guilty. Oh, credit to all of these people. 'Cause that was impressive. Oh, man. I am so sorry that I let so many people die. Because I could start seeing the credibility to the accusation aimed at Red after the first execution. So, oh, man. Oh, and the game just closed itself completely out. All right, so that happened. I am incredibly impressed with this game. Check this out. I mean, I know I've just spoiled the ending for anyone that's stuck around for it. I am still curious to hear about how the story changes, assuming one accuses different characters at different times. Because I feel like there is a little, in the way of, changing outcomes and reactions from other characters depending upon those choices. Clearly, certain characters are scripted to die as the story progresses and additional nights come to pass. I'm just, oh man. I'm impressed. I know I've said that several times in a row. It's just all I can muster. That was incredibly well done. Considering especially how crudely its assets are assembled. I mean, the menu is simple, the UI functions, all of the characters and environments and the panes and everything, they're clearly sketch art, and even so, it still lends it a certain aesthetic. It still sets a mood. I think the coloration of the sepia grade that everything is cast in, it certainly lends it that almost fantasy film noir sort of feel that I think it's aiming directly for. So I can hardly praise this enough for what it is, a free adventure investigation game that I just came across, couldn't even remember what it was at first, and then just found a charming little surprise amongst my other games for. So all the credit in the world to those developers. You've really created something special here. So on that note, check this out at the link in the description if you are interested to play it for yourself. Consider checking out our Patreon to help us keep the show alive here at Last Level Press. I am Kinsmarck, and as always, I wish you all good gaming and Godspeed.